What's going on, everybody? It's your rock star on the mic, David Duane, on My Fierce Wings Radio, The Biz with D. And right now we got the talented producer, songwriter, recording artist, Rico Love. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? How you feeling?
Feeling good. How about you?
Blessed, man. No complaints.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for coming on the show. We definitely appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
I'm glad that I got you on because, like, seriously, you are one of my you're my favorite, like, producer and songwriter. I'll go somewhere. I'm like, turn the lights on. Maybe like, why do you keep saying that? I'm like, it's a Rico joint. Duh. Motivation, Sweet Dreams, Throwback. Come on, y'all. Catch up. So it's like an honor to have you, honestly. So for my first question, I want to coming up with, like, the music and just lyrically, you know, what inspires you the most to get, you know, your inspiration?
I think more than anything, I'm inspired by being legendary. I like that feeling of writing a song that really affects people and really touches women more than anything, because I really feel like when they connect to a record, it's a different type of emotion. You know what I mean? So just to have people fall in love with the music and to say things that's so common in a way that's never been said before, I think that's my motivation. When I think of guys like Billy Joel or Elton John or the Beatles or, you know, Rufus Wainwright, songwriters like that who've written legendary pieces of work, I feel like my motivation is to be able to give people that same emotion that music gives me.
Definitely. For sure. And I got to ask you, because you definitely wrote one of my favorite records off of Kelly's, not this album, but her last album, Here I Am, All of the Night, like Rico.
Yeah.
That song is crack. Where did you get the inspiration for that record? Because it's crack. I love it. I'm an addict for that song.
Nah, man. I don't know, man. I just like I said, I just like writing cool songs. I listen to the chords. I did that record with the Runners, and I listen to the chords, and I try my best to kind of create feel like are infectious, and to say the same emotion, like the same way you feel about the record. I feel like that's what I was going for, man. Just writing something that really touched people and that made people feel like, you know, just a different way. You know what I mean? So the motivation and the inspiration behind it is just that, man. Just making some classic, cool shit.
Definitely. And now, for people that don't know, you at the start of your career, you were working with Usher and had a deal, right?
Mm-hmm. I was signed to Usher. I was the first artist signed to Usher Records, and I had a deal through J Records.
How was that experience for you? You know, being signed as a rapper at first, and then, you know, him telling you, you know, you should really just write. How was that, you know, experience?
It wasn't like he said you should just write. He just wanted me to add that to my repertoire. And I think I learned so much throughout that process. I think being the artist that I am today and the hard work that I put in today and the respect I have for the game and for the grind and understanding that the journey is a lot more important than the destination, those things in those days of being signed to have to travel the world and learning from the biggest artists in the world, I think it kind of helped me today. You know, I was able to perform every night on stage in front of 15 to 17,000 people, you know, because of Usher, and be able to see that part of the game is the best. And I know that God's going to bring me back to that level as an artist. So I think he just kind of showing me something, giving me a glimpse of where he could take me and beyond. And then I had to start over and do it myself. So I think we were just along for the ride. Those days were very important to me, important to where I'm going in the future.
Right, definitely. I mean, you got to have a great start, and I think that was, you know, a real great start for you, because that's where, you know, everything started to take off, especially when you wrote the record Throwback, which was a sick record. Everybody was talking about that record and still talks about that on Twitter to today, and how hot that was.
No doubt.
Now, let me ask you about your label Division One, and what made you want to really expand your brand with a label?
I started Division One in high school. You know, I played basketball, and I always felt like Division One basketball was like the highest level of athleticism, because you got these kids who working their behinds off to get to the NBA, and you know, I think that when you get to the NBA, you feel a sense of, you know, you made it. But when you're in Division One, it's like I'm almost there, so I'm gonna work hard to get there. And that's the pressure I want to give myself and my company. It's just like we never made it yet. No matter how much we do, we aren't there yet, and that's how we should work. And it's cool. I feel like I was always been my dream to own my record company. I grew up idolizing Puff, man. I grew up looking up to Diddy and the way he had Bad Boy. He had a whole different plethora of artists, not just one type. And he built a brand that was built off urban black music. That's what I want to do, and take black music around the world, not cross over, not conform, make records that are true to our people and our culture, and find a way to make the world hear it. I hate the word crossover because I feel like we shouldn't have to cross over. I feel like we should just make music for the world, and just from a standpoint of African-American people in the urban community. So that's the basis on which I wanted to build my label, my record company, and I want to stay true to who I am. I'm really from the streets. I really love being around my people. I love making music for my people, and I just want to show them the world.
Definitely. And it's a good thing that you mentioned, crossover music, because nowadays the R&B artist is crossing over to the pop, or the pop artist is crossing over to hip-hop. How do you necessarily feel about artists that are crossing over versus, staying true to the roots of who they are as an artist?
I think by word, if a song crosses over, that's like how people define it when it's top 40 or when it's rhythmic stations really play it big. But I feel like if your intention is to make a song for the world, you're doing the right thing. If your intention is to make great music, you're doing the right thing. But if you go in the studio and try to write a song and say, I want to write a pop song, then I feel like, you have the right to do that. I'm not going to judge you. But that's just not what I'm about. I'm about making songs that matter to me and mean something to me and feel true to who I am. I don't want to write a song that I wouldn't listen to. I only want to write music that I enjoy hearing myself. And a lot of times people write songs that they wouldn't even listen to in their own time. Mm-hmm. And I want to be true to who I am and make music that's true to my culture and my upbringing.
Right, definitely. Now, I got to ask you, another one of my favorite records that you did was Hello, Good Morning. And I know that you wrote that, late, early in the morning. When you heard the reaction from Puff and he gave you that phone call and he was singing it, what were you feeling at that time?
Oh, man, I was relieved because I had been there all day for 11 hours writing songs for these tracks, and this is my first time working with him. And being that he's my idol, I just felt like, damn, man, I can't leave here without making him, impressing him. So when I was able to do that, it was the biggest boost of confidence for me because it felt like, you didn't quit, you didn't give up. A lot of people just went home and charged to the game, and I wouldn't give up. And it was just metaphoric to so many things in life, and I still use that lesson today. Like, what if I would have went home? Sometimes I'll be in the studio, and it'll be one last track, and I'll hear it, and I'm like, well, let me stay and write this. And it ended up being the best song of the day. And you always think, what if I would have went home? What if I would have gave you up, clocked out early? So that was the best thing that could ever happen to me. The best lesson I could ever learn. So I told myself.
Right. And now, do you ever have those moments where you just like, what, let me get back to this record another time, or you're always like, what, let me smash this out, and,
I mean, as much as I can, I don't force myself, I don't overwork myself to the point where I can't focus, but I do, if I'm walking out the door and I hear something that catches my ear, I'm going to go back in the room.
Definitely. Got to do that, because I write songs myself, and it's like, if I hear that track, or I get that inspiration, I got to write it. I'm like, sometimes I even finish songs in 5 minutes. I'm like, people be like, David, I don't know how you finish songs in 5 minutes, but I don't like it. And I'm like, it's the creative momentum that you get from that inspiration or that track, but some people don't get it.
Yeah, man, I already know.
So now you got this, the single "They Don't Know," which is hot and blazing up the radio. At first, as a lot of people thought, it was Drake, and you confused us all completely. Tell me about that record and the whole concept of the message behind it, because it has a deep message beyond what people actually think it means.
I don't know. I mean, I was shocked that people would think it was Drake. I don't feel like it sounds anything like Drake. What it is that when everybody's making the same type of music, and Drake is the type of artist who's making different type of music, if you're making anything that's remotely different, they only can compare it to that one thing. But nobody compares the artists who are making every single song that sounded like. All of these rappers and singers are making the same type of records, the same type of format. Nobody says, all of you guys sound the same. But the guys who are stepping out and doing something a little bit different, I think it's easy to say, oh, that's like Kanye. Oh, that's like Drake. Or you dress like this person. But instead of saying everybody else dresses or acts or sounds the same, you're stepping out and venturing and doing something sonically that's different for a guy to rap and sing. And the only thing you can compare it to is the one guy who's successful who raps and sing right now, which is Drake. But when I wrote the song, I just wanted to, I wrote the song about how a lot of people don't know I'm the guy behind a lot of the records, but I wanted to do it in a way that was clever and catchy. I know nobody would be interested in hearing a song about that, so why not give it an idea that I feel like people could relate to, which is a relationship. So I did it in that sense, because the fact that a lot of people may not know I wrote these songs is fine, because I'm supposed to know they know. You know what I mean? So I think that was the premise behind it. And also I do believe in discrepancy. I believe a lot of times in relationships, people talk too much and they give too much information, and it takes away from the sanctity of it, if you will. Like it takes away from how special something can be in any relationship. It doesn't have to be a side piece, or it could be just between anybody, and just being not secretive. It's not about keeping, not being proud of the person you're with, but it's basically saying, I don't need everybody in my business. We're in a social media world where everybody's tweeting and Instagramming and subtweeting and Instagramming, trying to give away every detail of their relationship. I think it's cool to keep some things personal.
Definitely. And I'm really glad that you spoke on that, because that's a big thing that is a problem in social media that we see a lot. People just putting out stuff about their relationships. Like, I have a friend, I'm not going to say who they are or anything, but they're in a relationship with somebody where, I say it's a relationship, but she don't say it as that is, because they're not committed. But they don't post no pictures on Instagram, but they kind of claim each other, but they're not official, which is good, because 9 times out of 10, everybody's like, oh, that's my girl, that's my nigga, or da-da-da-da-da, and then next thing you know, they're not even together 2 days later.
Yeah, man, keep that on the low, and you don't even have to go through all that, man. Keep everything personal and private.
Definitely. So now you got this this project, El Presidente. Tell me about this the project, and how you came up with this concept.
El Presidente, I used to call myself the president back when I was signed and I was rapping, and some guys made a record called The Impeachment. It was like a diss record to me. So I always use those guys as my target. Like whenever I think about what pushes me is the fact that I had these guys who were cool with me, and they just one day just crossed me for no reason. So it always drove me, it always pushed me. So when I looked up and thought about it, I was like, damn, I'm still the president. Like, I still did everything that they told me I wouldn't do. They tried to come against me, they tried to hate on me, and I still made it. So I was like, this is celebrating. This is me saying, yeah, I tried to impeach me, but I'm still in office. And you guys are still where you are. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it was just my fuel, and I just wanted to rap with that fervor that I had back then, that energy. So I named it something I feel like was a reflection on how I felt when I was really in my zone.
Right. And I definitely feel the whole project of it, especially the record that you got with Tiara Thomas, To My Ex, which is a dope track right there. What's it? How you like collaborating with her?
She's a genius. I was happy to just be able to showcase how good of a rapper she is. That was important to me on this project, was kind of like getting out here and really showing the world that she was a dope MC. So that's the cool part about being able to be a versatile artist like she is, and like I am myself, is to be able to show all different facets. When people here, they don't know, I definitely don't want people to confuse me for an R&B singer. I want people to just know I'm an artist. I just happen to be able to sing. And I'm sure that every rapper, if they could sing like I sing, they would sing. And so many rappers sing. Rich Homie Quan, Future sing. They may not be as good at singing as I am, so a lot of people might put me in a box. But if you listen to their records, they're singing the same types of melodies. Not, they're singing melodic songs. I don't want to say. And the thing about it is that I actually can sing. So people will say, oh, you're R&B. No, I just make music. And if I sing on a record that get my point across, I do it. If I rhyme, I do it. I feel like I'm just as talented in both, And same with Tiara. I feel like she's just as talented in both, and I wanted to be able to showcase who she is. A lot of people think she's neo-soul, but it's sad, man. When like women of color, like dark-skinned girls, with who guitar is automatically titled as neo-soul. It's like, nah, she's just dope. She just knows how to play the guitar and she can sing.
Yeah.
That shit. You know what I mean? So I wanted to basically showcase that and really introduce people to that side of her.
For sure. And that's a good point that you mentioned. That a lot of people like to make it as dark-skinned women or artists, I should say, are neo soul. No. They can do it all. But the fact that Tiara was talking that shit on this record and she was killing, I was like, yo, she is an artist. She's not a singer. She is an artist, like for real.
No doubt.
And so, how would you say, like, meeting her, to get the deal locked in and stuff like that? Because I know that Wale's camp had, put you in touch with her. Like, how did that whole thing come about?
I was in the studio in New York, and Wale's partner, Greg, brought it to me, and, said he wanted me to sign and said he felt like we would be a good match. I heard it and got it right away, and I offered her a deal. Then, like, 6-7 months later, she ended up doing the song Bad with Wale, and he offered her a deal after that, and we both offered her a deal. It wasn't no, it was a, I was offering her a deal, he was offering a deal. We both knew, we both were conscious of it. It was just like going back and forth, like you do in business. So that's how that went down. It went in a major. I ended up winning the deal, and we kept it moving. Anything else after that, I can't speak on. I can't speak on somebody else and how they, feel about something because that had nothing to do with me. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's a good thing that she signed with you, because I feel like you got that, not only that sound, but you really got that foundation with Division One that can really help an artist, especially her. I mean, it fits. Not taking anything away from Wale, he's dope, but I feel like I feel like Tiara on your label is a better fit, though.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
No doubt. So speaking of Tiara, are you still working with Tiara Marie and Young Chris?
Tiara Marie and Young Chris are no longer signed to my company, but they're like family to me. So whenever they need anything from me, I always give it to them because I really still believe in their talent.
Okay, definitely, because that's what a lot of my listeners wanted to know, what was going on with the project and if y'all was still working.
Yeah, we still family though.
Definitely. So now, I know you got some music videos that are coming out. For which singles from this EP?
I just dropped a video for Strip Club. I'm gonna shoot a video for Main Bitches for my mixtape, and then I'm gonna shoot a video for I Love Somebody in My Type of Party. So I'm just working and putting out content and making sure people are familiar with who I am. That's the key. Just having a hit record and radio isn't enough. You got to really work hard and sell who you are in order for people to buy into you and buy into your brand and buy an album in the future.
Right. And with doing that, do you feel like it's been easier for you to do since you already had those hits on the radio, or has it been like a little bit difficult?
It's a challenge because you want people to respect you as an artist. You want people to believe that you're in it for the right reasons, So it's a challenge, but I'm not afraid of any challenge.
Definitely. Well, Rico, I'm definitely looking forward to the videos, and I checked out. I've been listening to the EP and the mixtape like crazy. So, I mean,
thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
No doubt. So before we have you do the drop for our show, tell everybody where they can find you as far as like your social media and where they can get the mixtape.
No doubt, you can follow me on Twitter. I am Rico Love. And Instagram, I am Rico Love. My Facebook is Rico Love, I believe. Rico Love is my Facebook. And, my website, RicoLove.com and Division1.com. What up, it's Rico Love, Mr. Turner Lights on. Got to give a special shout out to